hi, very happy good evening. So this is Krishna and we've been talking about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. So welcome to my new beginning. So today we're going to talk about muscle. Hello, hi, very happy good evening. So this is Krishna and we are going to talk about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. So welcome to my new beginning series. Hi Supriya, a very happy good evening. Hi Shiv Krishna. So hello, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much both of you for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. So today we're going to talk about a new topic, that is muscle. So if you remember our Saturday's lecture, so we were talking what is locomotion. So how is locomotion and movement different from each other? So do they have different structures, different organs for locomotion and movement? And then we also spoke about why or what is the need to locomote, right? And then we saw about the types of muscle movement, right? So we spoke about the types of movements. So we spoke about 4 movements, so 3 in general and one last one, that is flagella movement, that is seen only in the human sperms. So today we are going to talk about the structure of a muscle. So you would have often heard about the term, what is H line? What is M line? What is Z line? What is a sarcomere? It is very confusing. No, it should not be very confusing henceforth. So we are going to take steps to understand the structure of a muscle today. So anyways, it's going to be a pretty short lecture. So I make sure I don't talk more than 30 minutes because that is the time your brain can concentrate, right? So even if you're going to watch a recorded lecture, so if you look at the time of 30 minutes, you feel good to watch short videos, right? So even I feel good. So that is the reason I'm doing short lecture videos. That it's easy for you to finish concept by concept. Ma'am, aapko mera naam yaad hai? Yes, bilkul. Why would I forget? I never forget my student's name. Yes, I remember your name. Hi Bhavya. Yes, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. So before we move forward, so let me tell you, so today we're going to talk about the structure of the muscle. So tomorrow we are going to talk about the mechanism of muscle contraction. So please be present tomorrow because tomorrow also the concept is very important. So please be there tomorrow at 5:15. So we are going to talk about the mechanism of muscle contraction, but today let's finish off the structure of the human muscle. So we are going to talk about the skeletal muscle in specific. Okay, so let's move forward and let's see what I have in store for you today. Yes, so shall we move forward? So here we go. So let me give you a recap of what we spoke on Saturday's lecture because the weekend vibe would have made you forget what we actually read. So just to give you a recap or make you remember, so I'm going to talk only about the types of movement. So if you remember, can you list out the type of movements that we discussed on Saturday? Ma'am, what about menti? Okay, so menti will be coming Saturday, we'll have a menti, right? So coming Saturday, we'll have a menti. So tab tak I'll be done with locomotion. So we'll have the first 4 chapters of human physiology. So where we'll have the menti. Fine? Yes? Ma'am, you can read our brain. Yeah, so yes, I can correlate with you guys because yeah, the same thing happened with me, right? So Saturday, we are all excited about the weekend. So more than Sunday, we are so happy on Saturday, right? So that is the mood. So I thought I should recap. So actually, I wanted to take a menti after human physiology, but I thought I should take a menti before that to give you a proper idea of what menti is and what kind of questions we are going to get. So we will have a menti very soon. So I will give an announcement for the menti. So keep looking for my thumbnails. So very soon we'll have a menti. Okay, Bhavya? Yes? Okay, so what are the types of movement? So we have 3 main types of movement. So what is the first type of movement? So the first type of movement we spoke is amoeboid movement, right? So amoeboid movement, so just like how an amoeba moves with the help of pseudopodia, right? So these cells also show amoeba-like movement, so that is amoeboid movement. So can you give me the example of amoeboid movement? Which cells show amoeboid movement? So we have macrophages. So we have leukocytes, that is WBCs, and both of them are in blood. Apart from that, we have cytoskeletal elements. Cytoskeletal elements made up of filaments, so they also show amoeboid movement, right? So these are the two examples. Okay, so Shiva is telling me the list or the types of movement. Amoeboid, flagella, ciliated. Yes, absolutely right. So amoeba also has amoeboid movement, but we're talking about the humans. So what are the types of movements in human? Yeah, we're not concentrating on amoeba. Okay, Shiva? Yes. But yeah, that's understood, right? So it's amoeboid movement, yes, even amoeba will have. So ciliated movement, that's there even in paramecium, right? Okay, so these are the examples. The second type is ciliated movement. So where they have hair-like structures on the epithelial tissue and it helps in their movement. So ciliated movement is seen in the bronchioles. So not exactly in the bronchioles, it is seen in the trachea and in the fallopian tube. Right? So it is seen in these two, and the third type that we read is the muscular movement. So where is muscular movement seen? So in our tongue, jaw, then we have limbs, right? So all these show muscular movement. Also human reproductive tract, yes, so especially in the female reproductive tract, the fallopian tube is also known as the oviduct. Okay, Shiva? Fine. So the last one, which is less common, so you can say the fourth one, that is the flagella movement. So this flagella movement is seen in the human sperms. So why is this not very common? Because only the males show this, not the entire human race have this type of movement, right? So these are the four types of movement you can say, and along with the examples. So how does the question project? The question project in the form of match the following, sometimes and choose the incorrect option. So anyone here who is preparing for CBSE term 1 also, so in that case you might have reason and assertion, you have case study based questions, so that is where this concept is included. Okay, fine. So now let's move forward. Okay, so it's here. Okay, so I wrote before that. Fine. So now we're going to talk about a muscle. So what is a muscle? So muscle is a specialized tissue of mesodermal origin. So when you talk about the animal kingdom, so we all belong to the proud animal kingdom, right? So this animal features or the higher vertebrates, we have four types of tissues present. So what are the four types of tissues present? One is epithelial, the other one is connective, next we have muscular, and then we have neural. So first one is epithelial tissue, the next one is connective tissue, the third one is muscular, and the fourth one is nervous. Right? So muscular is a tissue. So it's one of the main tissue constituents of the vertebrates. So here we have muscle is a specialized tissue of mesodermal origin. So what is this mesodermal origin? So when the embryo that gets implanted in the human female, it enters a gastrula stage. So what is that gastrula stage? So it gives rise to 3 embryonic germ layers. It gives rise to 3 embryonic germ layers. Fine. So the first one is ectoderm. The second one is mesoderm. And the third one is endoderm. So your muscular tissue arises from the mesodermal region. So that is what is mentioned here. So 32 cell stage, I think, yeah. So gastrula is around 16 to 32 stage. Yes, then it becomes blastocyst and then it gets implanted. So after implantation, it is called as gastrula. So that gastrula, the germ layer differentiates to form 3 layers. So that is ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. The middle is mesoderm, and the mesoderm gives rise to the muscle. So that is where the muscular tissue arises. Fine. So 40 to 40% of the body weight in humans. So muscles contribute 40 to 40% of the body weight in humans. So that is the reason men look more bulkier than the women. So that is the pure reason why men have more blood compared to the female. So men have on the average 5 liters and women have 4 to 5 liters because there is more muscle contribution in the men, and muscles make up 40 to 50, 45 to 50% of the total body weight. right? So muscle has special property. So each of this tissue has a specific or a unique property to itself, thus playing a very important role. So what are the special properties of a muscle? What is that a muscle can do? First thing, excitability, right? So muscle can excite. So yes, it can pass the impulse, right? So let's say now there is an information that has to be passed to the brain and it has to come down, right? So suppose if I put my hand on a pot and that pot is hot, so instantly I take back, right? So muscles are able to excite, so that is excitability. Fine. The second one is contractibility. Yes, I am able to contract and relax, contract and relax. That is also a property of muscle. The third one is extensibility. Suppose if it's at a distance where I have to extend more, so that is extensibility, right? So these are the properties that muscle has it uniquely. So the same thing is not present with your connective tissue or your epithelial tissue. The next one is elasticity. Yes, muscles are elastic. Just like your rubber band, it's elastic. It can move and come back, move and come back, right? Yes. So this is the typical muscle and these are the special properties of a muscle which I want you to remember. So muscles are excitable, contractible, extensible and elastic. So these are the 4 features of a muscle. Fine. So moving further, types of muscle. So how many types of muscle we have? So we have 3 types of movement and muscular movement is one of them, but we are zooming in the muscle, okay? Ma'am, difference between extensibility and elasticity. Okay, so elasticity is to move for, okay, so both go hand in hand, right? So suppose if I extend my hand to a further extent to touch something, so that is extensibility. I am able to extend my hand, but my muscle also has the property to come back to the original position, that is elasticity. So that is the distinct difference between extensibility and elasticity. Fine? Okay. So we spoke about 3 types of movement, flagellar, amoeboid. Okay, so see amoeboid, ciliated and muscular. So I am highlighting on a muscle because the chapter is, we are going to deal with muscles and bones. The first half of the chapter is about muscles. Fine. So this muscle, how many types of, so I gave you introduction about muscle. So muscle is from mesodermal origin and it has certain properties. So we discussed the properties like excitability, contractibility, extensibility and elasticity. Now, how many types of muscles you have? Ma'am, it is like the spring force of physics. Yeah, if you are able to correlate, that is fantastic. So that is what we want at the end of the day. So that makes you much stronger in all the 3 fields. Good. That is elasticity property. So that is not extensibility, that is elasticity. Fine. Okay. So now, how many types of muscles we have? Do you even thought that you have so many types of muscle? Ma'am, we only know muscles exist. We don't know the types of muscles that exist. So now here we are going to talk about the types of muscles. So we have 3 types of muscle based on the location where they are present. So if they are found close with the bones, we call it as the skeletal muscle because bones make up the skeletal system. So muscles associated with bones become the part of the skeletal system or the skeletal muscle. So the first type of muscle is the skeletal muscle, right? So the second type is the visceral muscle. So where is visceral muscle present? So visceral is also known as smooth or hollow organs. For example, you have your kidney, you have your stomach, they are the hollow organs, right? So you cannot touch and feel them. So muscles which are associated with these organs are visceral or hollow or smooth muscles. Fine. The last one is cardiac. So we know it is present in the heart. So that is the cardiac muscle. So we have 3 types of muscles based on the location. The first one is skeletal, the second one is visceral and the third one is cardiac. Fine. Okay. So we are going to talk about each one in order. So first let's start with skeletal muscle. Fine. So skeletal muscle are voluntary muscles. So for example, this is my hand. So I have bones in my hand and I also have muscles associated with my bones. So let's take this as the example of the skeletal muscle, right? So when I want, I move my hand. When I want, I keep it in one place, right? So it is voluntary. Bone marrow muscle is visceral or skeletal. Okay, so bone marrow muscle is skeletal. Fine? Okay. So whenever you have a bone associated with muscle, it is skeletal. Okay, Shiva? Fine. So your skeletal muscle is voluntary. Fine. The next one, it is striated. So what do I mean by striations? So wherever I have the bones, and the muscles associated with the bones are the skeletal muscles. Fine. So when I say striations, so let's consider this is my skeletal muscle. Right? So let me draw a cylindrical structure. This is my skeletal muscle. So this skeletal muscle has stripes like this on the surface. So that makes it has striated appearance. So these are called as striations. So you can say you have checked dresses, right? You have checked shirts, you have checked kurtis. So similarly, the appearance of this muscle is like it has stripes. The stripes here are technically called as striations. Thus, your skeletal muscle is striated. Fine? Okay. So with this, we are done with the skeletal muscle. So now we are going to the next one, that is the smooth muscle. So smooth muscle is also known as visceral muscle. So that is, they are present with the smooth organs. So these muscles are involuntary. So can you move the muscle that is associated with your kidney right now? No idea. We don't even know where exactly the kidney is. Yes, orally you can say, but physically where will you show me your kidney? That's not possible, right? So these are the muscles which are involuntary. So smooth muscles are also known as visceral muscles and they are involuntary. But these do not have stripes, so they are non-striated in appearance. So this is how they look. So they don't have stripes. They only have a nucleus, and this is your visceral muscle. Fine? They are non-striated. Yes, you're absolutely right, Bhavya. Very good. So the last type of muscle is the cardiac muscle. So it is the muscles of the heart. So cardiac is heart. We know it well. So these are the muscles of the heart. Right? And of course, you cannot control the muscles of your heart. So this is also involuntary. So among the three types of muscles, only your skeletal muscles are voluntary and the other two are involuntary. So this is also striated like a skeletal muscle. So these also have stripes. So this is how your cardiac muscles look like. So you can see stripes like this. So they are striated. Fine? Okay. So giving you an idea. So we spoke about skeletal muscles. So skeletal muscles are voluntary and striated. Then we spoke about smooth muscles or visceral muscles. It is involuntary and it is non-striated. So then we spoke about cardiac muscle, which is again involuntary, but it is striated. So these are the three types of muscles that we discussed so far. Now, we are not going to talk about the smooth muscle or the cardiac muscle. So we are just going to concentrate about the skeletal muscle, because the next half of the chapter, we are going to talk about bones, right? So we are going to talk about the structure of a skeletal muscle. Ready? Yes? So this is all the introduction. Now we are going to talk exactly of the structure of a skeletal muscle, and this is the most important part of the chapter. So kindly pay apt attention. So structure of a skeletal muscle. So each skeletal muscle is made up of a number of muscle fibers or fascicles. Ma'am, what is it? Okay, which is held together by a common collagenous connective tissue called as fascia. So each muscle bundle contains what is known as muscle fiber. So each fiber is lined by plasma membrane. Okay, so let me explain so that you don't get confused. So here we have, so if you can see, this entire thing is my skeletal muscle, right? So let me draw. So I am drawing a skeletal muscle. So this is a skeletal muscle. Fine. So the skeletal muscle is made up of number of muscle bundles. So can you see inside the skeletal muscle, you have bundles like this. So you have many bundles like this. So each one is a bundle. So this is called as muscle bundle. It is also known as fascicles. So each muscle bundle has to be connected. They are connected by a connective tissue that is known as fascia. Fine. So this entire structure is my skeletal muscle, which is made up of muscle bundles like this. So each muscle bundle is also known as a fascicle, and they are connected together by what is known as fascia. So connective tissues secrete a material known as collagen. The matrix of the connective tissue, they secrete what is known as collagen and elastin. So since this fascia is a connective tissue, it produces collagen. So that is what I mean by collagenous. So it is filled with collagen. So this fascia, which connects two muscle bundles together, is filled or rich in collagen, and it connects both of them. So these are the muscle bundles, right? So let me draw one of the muscle bundle. So this is my muscle bundle. So inside my muscle bundle, okay, so collagen is secreted commonly by connective tissues. So fascia is a connective tissue, so it secretes collagen. Okay, Shiva? Fine? Okay. So now I am taking one muscle bundle and drawing. So inside the muscle bundle, again I have parallel lines like this. So they are called as muscle fibers. So these are called as muscle fibers. So inside the skeletal muscle, I have muscle bundle. Inside the muscle bundle, I have muscle fiber. Okay. So this is my muscle fiber. So this is what is told here. So each bundle contains a number of muscle fibers. Fine. So Ravi Prakash, hello. Yes, so I guess you are new to my lecture. So thank you for joining me today. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yeah, so we are talking about the structure of a skeletal muscle. So if you do not understand, so stop me. I can explain you once again. Okay. So inside the skeletal muscle, we have muscle bundle. So what is also known as fascicles, and this is connected by fascia. So inside the muscle bundle, we have what is known as muscle fiber. Okay. So that muscle fiber has a plasma membrane that is known as sarcolemma. Fine. And it has many nuclei, that is synticum condition. So endoplasmic reticulum is present inside the muscle fiber, that is sarcoplasmic reticulum, and it is a storehouse of calcium. So muscle bundle, I am highlighting the muscle bundle, that is a muscle fiber. So this muscle fiber has a plasma membrane, so that is known as sarcolemma. So plasma membrane is the outer covering of the cell, right? So which separates the cytoplasm from the cell wall. So the sarcolemma encloses the cytoplasm. So that is the sarcoplasm here. So that is the sarcoplasm here. Fine. So apart from having a plasma membrane, it has many nuclei. So this many nuclei condition is known as syncytium. Syncytium. This is many nucleated condition. So apart from that, they also have an endoplasmic reticulum that is known as sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this sarcoplasmic reticulum stores a lot of calcium. Fine. Hi ma'am, can we expect physics and chemistry lectures also from this channel, because I am doing self-study? Okay, so there is an issue with the physics and chemistry lectures at the back end, so that is the reason we are not able to bring in physics and chemistry. So we do not have enough army troop to support us with physics and chemistry. So that is the main reason. So that is why it is taking ample time. So you can actually download eCareerPoint app. So in the eCareerPoint app, in the free stuff, yes, you have physics and chemistry PPTs. So I wish if you're doing self-study, so please go through that tentatively till we bring in physics and chemistry lectures. Okay, Sona? Yes, yes. Syncyticum, yes, I'm explaining once again. Fine. So muscle fiber. So muscle fiber has a plasma membrane which is known as sarcolemma. So sarcolemma encloses the sarcoplasm. So inside the plasma membrane we have the cytoplasm, right? So this is sarcolemma. The plasma membrane of the muscle fiber is sarcolemma. So this sarcolemma encloses the sarcoplasm. Fine. So the muscle fiber has many nuclei. So usually this should have only one nuclei, but it has many nuclei like this. So this condition is known as syncytium. Okay, so it also has an endoplasmic reticulum that is known as sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is rich in calcium ions. Fine. So this is the structure of the muscle fiber. RT-PCR, ma'am, shall I? We'll have momos together. Oh my God. Okay. So this is the structure of the muscle fiber, right? So now let's move forward. So now inside the muscle fiber, how is it? So now we are going to talk about the muscle fiber. So the muscle fiber has plasma membrane, has a cytoplasm, everything is fine. So inside the muscle fiber, so we have striations like this. So we have alternate light and dark bands. So this is how your muscle fiber is, okay? So now, how is this being described? So your muscle fiber is made up of myofilaments. Microfilaments are different, they are the part of cytoskeleton, okay? Muscle fiber, inside the muscle fiber, we have myofilaments. Yes, this has a plasma membrane, this has a cytoplasm, this has an endoplasmic reticulum. Inside the muscle fiber, it consists of myofilaments, okay? Or you can also say it consists of myofibrils. So this myofibrils have alternative light and dark band. So light band, dark band, light band, dark band. So that is how the muscle fiber is designed, okay? Yes? Yes, exactly, Shiva. So that is what it means, syncytium, okay? So this is the muscle fiber. Inside the muscle fiber, we have myofilaments or myofibrils. So this has alternate light and dark bands. So it is exactly like this. So this dark band is known as A band. So A stands for an isotropic band. Fine. So the light band is known as I band, and I band stands for isotropic band. Fine. So this A band, which is dark, is because of a protein known as myosin. The I band, which is light, is because of a protein that is known as actin. Fine. So this is how the myofibrils or the myofilaments are arranged, okay? So you have a light band, dark band, light band, again a dark band. Fine. So the two light bands are held together by a Z line. So this is my Z line. So two light bands are held together by a Z line. The middle of the A band is called as the M line. The middle portion of the A band is called as the M line. Fine. The region of the A band which is not enclosed by the I band. See here, I band is over the A band, but this region is free of any overlap. The region of the A band that is not overlapped by the I band is called as the H zone. So the region between the two successive Z line, this is one Z line, this is one Z line. The region between two Z line is known as your sarcomere, and sarcomere is the structural and functional unit of a muscle. So inside the muscle fiber, okay, so inside the muscle fiber we have the myofilaments or the myofibers. So inside this we have what is the sarcomere. So here you have to remember what is Z line, what is M line, and what is H zone. So Z line connects to light bands. So M line is the middle region of the A band. So H zone is the region of the A band which is not overlapped by the I band. and the region between two successive I band is the sarcomere. Sorry, the region between two successive Z line is the sarcomere. Okay? Yes? Ma'am, why is it called isotropic and anisotropic bands? Guys, can you see my video? Is my video clear? Okay, so isotropic is, it is even. Iso is the same. It is made up of the same thing throughout. Anisotropic is, it is not uniform, it is a bit thick. Okay? Yes, you can see my video fine. So that is the reason it is called as isotropic. So when do you say isomer? It is the same, right? So isotropic here, it means it is very thin. Anisotropic, opposite of isotropic, so that is why it is thick. Okay? Fine. So I guess now you have an idea of the structure of the skeletal muscle. So now I will show you a detailed picture. So this is what we have been talking. So we have two proteins which gives rise to this thick and the dark bands. One is actin and the other is myosin. So here I have a proper structure. So here this is my entire muscle. So inside the muscle I have muscle bundle. Inside each bundle I have muscle fiber. Inside each fiber I have myofibril. Inside the myofibril I have the sarcomere. So this is the entire structure of a skeletal muscle. So once again, this is the skeletal muscle which is made up of muscle bundle. Inside the muscle bundle, I have muscle fiber. Inside each muscle fiber, I have myofibril. Inside each of the myofibril, I have light and dark bands, and that gives me the sarcomere. Clear, guys? Yes? Is the structure of the skeletal muscle clear to everyone? Can I know why is it called as RT-PCR? Why are you in so love with RT-PCR? So what does RT-PCR stand for? Yes, what is your name? Okay, so with the love for the pandemic, so you are so obsessed with RT-PCR? Yes, so I guess the structure of the muscle fiber is pretty clear. So this is all I want to teach for today. So we spoke about the type, what is a muscle? We spoke about the types of muscle and how are they classified: voluntary, involuntary, striated, non-striated. And then I want to explain you the structure of the muscle. Right? So tomorrow we are going to see how it is going to contract and relax like this, and how the sarcomere is going to play a role. So that is the lecture for tomorrow. So tomorrow it is the mechanism of muscle contraction. So tomorrow not only we will talk about the mechanism, we will also talk about what are the structures of actin and myosin. Fine. So please don't miss tomorrow's lecture, because that is an important concept for your NEET exam. Reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction. Wow, that's fantastic. Good. Okay, fine. So this is what I want to discuss in today's lecture. So tomorrow we'll continue with muscle contraction. So I hope you like my way of teaching. So if you genuinely like my way of teaching, so please do like, share and subscribe, and please let your friends know about our channel. So this is me wishing you more and most. So I'll meet you tomorrow. So until then, bye and take care. Yes, bye.